jungle.
She's so systematic. Popping pills, she's such an addict. Pulling up in foreigns. Got that panic on my arm. Cuban link came with the charm. She's so systematic. Popping pills, she's such an addict. Pulling up in foreigns. Got that panic on my arm. Cuban link came with the charm.
No, we were from my auntie, you know what I'm saying, family lived in a project called Piers Manor, a big project, you know what I'm saying? So one day, me and my homie, you know, we out there chilling, so some dudes from Newark end up coming up late night, we standing out, they end up robbing us and everything. And so they end up robbing it, they end up taking one of my partner's chains and everything from around his neck and everything. So like, they were like, man, I'm laying on the ground, so Joe got the gun to my head, like, man, shoot this one right here, shoot him, kill this one right here, kill this one right here. I'm like, oh, man, I done can't wait up here, man, to lose my life like this right here, man, it can't be real. So what happened, it was a fire department car coming through the project, but they thought it was the police. So they jumped up and bounced and ran and everything. So when they jumped up and ran and everything, I'm like, oh, man, so when they running, I'm tearing out running to me and my little cousin and everything. So we tearing out. So at the end of the day, I'm like, dang, man, it's crazy. So we kind of got like a little scoop on the dude, who it was and everything. So, you know, when the pressure come, you got to handle that business.
Yeah.
So, you know, the business will handle. So when the business got crazy, you know, I had to make that U-turn and come on back to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
For real, man. Especially when you're on that lifeline.
So, what age were you when you came back to Georgia?
When I came back to Georgia, I think it was like I think I was like 23, something like that. I was like about 23.
So, all right. So what happened when you came back to Georgia? What did you start doing then?
When I came back to Georgia, that when I met some of my little homeboys and everything, you know, I came back and I seen how the streets were flowing, like the drugs, like how the drugs were moving, how Joker was making money and everything. I'm like, dang, man, this mother piped up since I've been gone and everything. I see everybody eating, everybody counting money. I'm like, man, I really got to get some of this right here. What's going on? So at that time, I really tapped out and broke. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ashamed to say it. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, it was a pawn shop called Security Pawn back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I had a jukebox. So I like, man, I got to get me some money, man. So the dude that owned the pawn shop, he was, you know what I'm saying, white guy. He was cool. So I said, man, I'm going to take my jukebox and pawn this mother for like $50, man, and see what I can get up out of this. So I went out there. He like, man, what is you doing, man? Ain't your dad Donald Dixon? What you trying? I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, listen, man, I got to live for myself. He like, oh, okay. He like, what you trying to do? I say, man, I'm trying to pawn my jukebox, man, for $50. He like, for what? I say, man, I'm tired of being broke, man. I'm tired of being broke. He like, word? I like, yeah. So, but he was like, this what I'm going to do for you. He like, I'm going to say, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get your jukebox. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give you the $50, but behind that right there, I'm going to give you $2 more $100 on top of that. When you come out, you just bless me and give me that back. I say, for real? He like, yeah. I say, okay, bet. So he gave me $250. I left. After I left out the door, I ain't going to lie. I called the dope man. You know what I'm saying? I called the dope man like, hey, man, what's up? Hey, man, you know, I'm trying to make this right here happen. He like, what you got? I said, I got $250. At that time, he like, shit, man, I can give you a quarter, but, you know, since you trying to make this really happen, I'm going to give you a half. And I know your little spot over there, bumping over on West Main and Ivory. I said, shit, bet I got you. So we did that, man, about 2 or 3, 4, 5 times. Next thing you know, man, I'm up. Like, next thing you know, I'm getting it now. I'm bumping. He like, dang, man, you eat. I like, man, listen, I just said, keep it going, keep it going. Next thing you know, man, I found myself, man, I was up there. I was up.
Already in.
I was in.
Knee deep.
I was in. Money was flowing good.
So how long did it take you to actually get to the point where you like, all right, I'm good?
I don't think it was no point.
So there was never. All right, let me ask you this: with getting money, hustling, is it ever a ending point or a goal? Is it a financial goal that you had in your head set? Like, all right, I want to get this much weight, or I want to get this much money.
It's supposed to be a cutoff, but greed, man. Like, you know, you might be like, man, I want to just cut off at like 20,000. Back then, 20,000 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you think about 20, but now you looking like, man, nah, I can't stop. That ain't enough. Cause it's addictive, man. It's worse than a junkie. So it's like, man, the money was coming so plentiful and so good. Like, I couldn't stop. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't stop. The only way I stopped till I ran into a dead end. And that dead end was prison.
Yeah. All right. So, when did you actually get locked up or go to prison?
I think my first bid I started getting locked up, man, I was like 24.
So 24. So right after you had came back from Jersey.
Right.
About a year or so after that.
Yeah.
And what did you get locked up for?
For drugs, man. I ended up getting locked up for drugs and everything. And it was so sad because a partner who I had hooked up with, I thought he really was my partner, but shit, at the time, you know what I'm saying, dude was working, so like he like banned me, but like I had a good ass lawyer. I hadn't saved up money and everything, so at that time, like I paid for a good lawyer, and so my lawyer like blessed me, and I ended up going to boot camp and everything. So like it was a blessing, man. And then like, and one thing I can say about Statesboro, my city, a lot of folks can put like, you know, first when you get jammed up, they scream, oh, he the police, he the police. The situation, what I call a rat, this is what you call a rat and a snitch. It's a big difference. A rat and a snitch, it's still the same thing. You is not no rat if you ain't on no case with nobody. If a motherfucker son down there and call you and say, oh, he a rat, he a snitch, only way that becomes true is me and you go do a crime together. If me and you go out and do this crime together, and then they be like, oh man, he told on me. That's my partner, man, he rolled on me. That's a rat and a snitch.
Alright, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Cause for one, you can't call nobody no rat or a snitch if you never did no crime or nothing with them, and you never got no down the portrait. You never walked free out the jailhouse or none of that. So a lot of people get the word snitching mixed up. Know what I'm saying? So, and that's what's big in Statesboro. A lot of folk love to call a motherfucker a rat and a snake and a snitch. But guess what? You only become that when y'all doing a crime together. When y'all do a crime together, he telling you that's a snitch. If a person outside of y'all circle ain't got nothing to do with y'all and business go wrong, you can't consider him no rat or no snitch. Cause guess what? He didn't get no time cut. He didn't get no departure or nothing. He didn't get nothing. Only thing, this man was just, you know what I'm saying, at the wrong place at the wrong time. And for one, a motherfucker, no, excuse my language, but a person ain't gonna get jammed up on nobody's behalf if they ain't got nothing to do with it. And this game is called 21. Handle your business.
Yeah. So, hey, that's real though. Now, on your first bid, how long did you do?
On my first bid, I did like 90 days.
90 days. What was the longest bid you ever did?
Man, my longest bid, I did Fed. I did like 11 years in the Fed.
Straight?
Straight to the door.
And
like that.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, most definitely.
So what was the charge on that one?
You know what I'm saying, possession of a firearm and possession of drugs. I think I probably had like a quarter key and a possession of a pistol, so that caught me like plenty of time in the Fed. But they already had been watching me though.
Oh, and how old was you when that happened?
Well, when that happened, I was like, man, on some real, I was like 34, 35.
So what happened that day when they actually came for you?
I think, man, what had happened, me and my partner, we was on the way to Atlanta, to the city, because I was living in the city. I was living in Atlanta. So I had a Chrysler 300 at the time. So me and my partner driving and everything. So we on 16 going through Twiggs County. So my partner, you know what I'm saying, he got CDLs and everything. So you know, he driving and everything. So like I got a whole half a gallon of Grey Goose. I got a whole thing of Grey Goose. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking, I'm pouring up. We go through Twiggs County. So my partner driving, we get stopped and everything. So a white guy stepped to my side. He was like, "Hey, yo, what's up, Dickerson?" I'm looking up at him like, "Damn, how you know me?" He like, "Man, how the day going?" So I got my jewelry on. I'm iced out. You know what I'm saying? I probably got on a neck that's like 30 or 40,000, like iced all out. So he like, "Dang, man, you got on enough jewelry. That's like most of my whole salary of the whole year." I like, "Yeah, I make music." So we chopping it up like we cool and stuff. So he like, "You got any music?" I played my music for him and everything. He like, okay, that what's up. So at that time we chopped it up. So my partner was driving. So he was like, "Hey man, you know what, man, y'all can go." I said, "We can go? You stopped us for speeding though. What's up with that? With a ticket?" "Oh, nah, you good, bro, you good." I said, "Good? Nah, man, y'all go ahead." So me and my partner pulled off. Ain't take my liquor or nothing. So as we riding, I'm looking at my homeboy. I'm like, "Damn, bro, what that was about?" He like, "Man, I don't know. That's crazy though, ain't it?" I like, "Yeah." So we went on to the city to my crib. So we end up coming back to Statesboro that same day. I had a show at Nat's Landing that night. So when I got the show at Nat's, you know what I'm saying, I had got a phone call. One of my little homegirl, she like, "Yo, can you come pick me up off
At jungle?" She's so systematic. Popping pills, she's such an addict. Pulling up in foreigns. Got that paddock on my arm. Cuban link came with the charm. She's so systematic.